Welcome back to Easy English Podcasts. I'm Adam, and I'm so glad you're here with me again today. In this episode, we're diving into something that can really help you grow in your English journey. It's something simple, practical, and very powerful. Listening to English podcasts. Yes, that's right. We're going to talk about the best podcasts to listen to if you want to improve your English. But we're not just listing names. Number We're going deeper. We're going to explore why listening helps you, how to do it the right way, and what kind of mindset makes your practice stronger. So get comfortable, relax your shoulders, maybe grab a cup of tea or coffee, and let's enjoy this time together. Now, before we begin, I want to ask you something. Are you subscribed to Easy English Podcasts? If not, this is a great moment to do it. Just hit that subscribe button so you can join us every week. Every episode is made just for you to help you improve your listening, understand real English, and feel confident using the language in your life. All right, let's begin. Why do podcasts help so much with English? Think about how you learned your first language. You didn't start by reading grammar books. You didn't sit in a classroom repeating rules. You listened. A lot. You listened to your parents, your friends, your teachers, your favorite songs, your favorite shows. And little by little, you started to understand. Your brain started to make connections. And eventually, you began to speak. Podcasts let you do the same thing in English. They help you learn like a child learns, naturally, slowly, deeply. They give your brain a chance to listen, repeat, and absorb the rhythm of the language. You hear how people really speak. You hear the tone, the speed, the expressions. And with time, that sound becomes familiar. You start to notice words. You start to feel confident. That's the magic of podcasts, but there's a way to do it that helps more. Just listening one time might not be enough. You need to listen again and again. Choose a podcast that you enjoy. Listen to one episode today. Listen again tomorrow. The first time you might not understand much, but the second time, something will click. A word will sound familiar. A sentence will feel easy. That's progress. And progress makes you feel good. It gives you energy to keep going. Now let's talk about some great podcasts you can listen to. The first one, of course, is Easy English Podcasts. That's us. Every episode here is slow, simple, and made for you. It's like sitting with a friend who speaks to you gently. You hear clear pronunciation, easy grammar, and natural conversation. We talk about real-life things, your weekend, your routine, your thoughts. It's not about perfect English. It's about real English. So start here. Choose an episode. Listen more than once. Repeat the words out loud. Feel the language in your mouth. Another great podcast is the BBC Learning English podcast. It's one of the most famous English learning shows in the world. They have short episodes with news stories, interviews, and vocabulary tips. What's great about it is that you learn not just the language, but also about the world. You improve your English and your knowledge at the same time. Start with their English at Work series or The English We Speak. Listen to a story. Try to answer the questions at the end. Write down new words in a small notebook. Then listen again. This kind of practice helps a lot. There's also a wonderful podcast called The English We Speak. It's fun, short, and teaches idioms. Idioms are those little expressions that native speakers use all the time, like break the ice, hit the books, or a piece of cake. These phrases are hard to understand from grammar alone, But when you hear them in a story, you remember them. You know how to use them. And that's powerful. Let's talk about something important now. How to use podcasts when you are busy. Maybe you have work. Maybe you go to school. Maybe you take care of your family. Life is full, but you can still make time for English. How? By using the moments in your day when you're not doing anything important. For example, when you're walking, cooking, cleaning, taking the bus. These are perfect times to listen. You don't need to sit with a book. You just need your phone and your ears. You press play and the language flows into your brain. You don't need to understand everything. Just listen. Over time, the language becomes part of you, and that's how you grow. Another helpful tip is to repeat what you hear. This is called shadowing. You listen to a sentence and try to say it at the same time or just after. For example, if you hear, "Today I'm going to the store," you pause and say, "Today I'm going to the store." You copy the rhythm, the sound, the melody. You train your mouth and your brain together. It feels strange at first, but it works. It helps your speaking become automatic. And that's the goal, automatic. Speaking. Let's go deeper. Why is listening more important than reading in the beginning? Because speaking and listening are connected. When you hear something, your brain starts to store it. It builds a sound map. And when you speak, you use that same sound map to produce words. Reading helps too, but listening helps first. It gives you the music of English. And when you have the music, your words start to dance. There's also another reason podcasts are powerful. They give you emotional connection. When you listen to a podcast host every week, they become like a friend. You feel safe. You feel seen. You feel heard. And that emotional safety helps your brain learn better. The brain is like a garden. It grows best in peace, not in fear. So when you listen to someone who speaks gently, slowly, with kindness, your brain opens up. You enjoy the moment, and you learn more. Let's take a small moment to talk about goals. Many English learners say, "I want to speak like a native speaker," but that goal is not always helpful. Why? Because it creates pressure. It makes you feel small. A better goal is this: I want to understand more today than yesterday. I want to enjoy English more this week than last week. That goal is gentle. It's real. It keeps you moving forward. Podcasts help you with that kind of goal. They help you enjoy the journey, and that's the real secret. When you enjoy something, you do it more. When you do it more, you get better. And when you get better, you feel proud. That's how we learn. Now I want to share something personal. When I first started learning a new language, I was scared. I didn't know how to start. Books felt boring. Grammar felt confusing. But then I found a podcast, a slow, friendly voice, a short story, a little laugh, and I listened every day. I didn't understand everything, but I listened again and again and again. And slowly I started to feel stronger. I started to feel like, yes, I can do this. That's why I made Easy English Podcasts, to give you the same feeling, to tell you that, yes, you can do this. You are not alone. You are learning in the best way, slowly, naturally, joyfully. All right, that's a good place to pause for now, but don't go anywhere. The second part of this episode is coming up, and it's even more exciting. We'll explore more podcasts, more tips, and more ways to make your English learning fun and powerful. But before we move on, remember this: you are doing great. You are showing up. You are listening. and that is enough. If you haven't subscribed yet, now is the perfect time. And if you think this podcast helps, share it with a friend. Let's grow together. Now that we've explored the importance of listening to English podcasts to improve your language skills, let's go deeper. Think about your daily routine. Are there small windows of time when your hands are busy but your ears are free? This is your golden opportunity to immerse yourself in English effortlessly. For example, imagine you're cooking breakfast. The eggs are sizzling, the kettle is boiling, and you're listening to an English podcast. Maybe the host is telling a story about their childhood, or describing the weather in their country, or even giving tips about traveling abroad. You're learning without stopping your day. The language becomes part of your life. One of the best ways to grow your vocabulary is to hear it in context. Many learners try to memorize word lists, but those words often disappear after a few days. When you listen to podcasts, you hear those words used naturally. You hear the tone, the emotion, the story behind each word. For example, instead of just reading the word thrilled, you might hear someone say, "I was thrilled when I got the job." That sentence gives you feeling, image, emotion. That's how real learning happens. It's deeper, stronger, and longer lasting. Let's talk about how to choose the right podcast for you. First, find something you enjoy. If you like comedy, listen to funny podcasts. If you love history, find English history podcasts. If you enjoy simple stories, there are many podcasts for beginners that tell slow, clear stories. The key is enjoyment. If you're bored, your brain won't absorb much. But if you're interested, you'll remember more. Try different styles. You might enjoy interviews one day and storytelling another day. Mix it up to keep it fresh. Another powerful tip is to repeat. Repetition is your best friend. If you find a podcast episode you like, listen to it again. The first time, just listen. The second time, try to catch more details. The third time, repeat the phrases out loud. Shadowing is another great method. Play a short part of the podcast and repeat what the speaker says immediately after, copying their pronunciation and rhythm. You'll sound more natural and confident over time. Also, take note of common expressions. Keep a small notebook or use your phone. When you hear a phrase like hang out, call it a day, or I'm feeling under the weather, write it down. These phrases are common in daily conversations and will help you sound more fluent. You don't need to write everything. Just pick a few that feel useful or interesting. Review them later and try to use them in your own speaking. Remember, consistency is more important than time. Even if you only have 10 minutes a day, that's enough. Make it a habit. Listen while you brush your teeth, walk to work, or wait for your coffee. Let English be part of your daily life. Soon you'll notice changes. You'll understand more. You'll recognize words you used to miss. You'll even start thinking in English without trying. Let's imagine a small scene. You're on a bus, earphones in, listening to a podcast. The speaker is describing their morning routine. You understand most of it, but some words are new. You don't pause, you keep listening. You hear the words again later. Your brain connects the dots. This is real learning. Quiet, steady, powerful. Sometimes you may feel frustrated. Maybe you think you're not improving fast enough. Maybe you don't understand the podcast completely. That's okay. Learning is not a straight line. Some days are better than others. Just keep going. Celebrate small wins. You understood a sentence today? That's progress. You remembered a new word? That's progress. You listened for 15 minutes without giving up? That's big progress. Podcasts are also great because you hear different accents. British English, American English, Australian English, and more. This will help you understand people from different parts of the world. Don't worry if some accents are hard at first. With time, your ears will adjust. That's why exposure is important. The more you listen, the better you get. Let's go back to shadowing for a moment. When you repeat after the podcast speaker, you're not just copying words. You're training your mouth to move like a native speaker. You're building muscle memory. At first, it might feel strange. You might stumble or forget what to say, but every time you try, you improve. Even 5 minutes of shadowing a day can change your fluency. Now let's talk about confidence. Podcasts are a private way to learn. There's no one watching, no test, no fear of mistakes. You can pause, rewind, repeat, or skip. You're in control. That freedom helps your brain relax. And when your brain is relaxed, it learns better. So enjoy it. Make a cup of tea, sit in your favorite spot, and press play. Let the words flow in. To get even more from your podcasts, try these tips. First, choose episodes with transcripts. That means you can read while you listen. It helps you connect sound with spelling. Second, write a short summary after listening. Just a few sentences about what you heard. This helps you remember and improves your writing. Third, talk about it. Tell a friend what the podcast was about, or talk to yourself in English. This turns listening into speaking. Finally, remember your reason. Why are you learning English? Maybe it's for your job, maybe for travel, maybe to connect with new people. Keep that reason in your heart. It will give you strength on difficult days. Every time you listen, you are getting closer to your goal. Every word brings you forward. So today, find a podcast. Choose a topic you like. Listen with curiosity. Repeat with joy. Let English become part of your day, your thoughts, your voice. Step by step, episode by episode, you are becoming fluent. You are growing. You are learning. And you are not alone. I'm here with you, cheering you on. Thank you for joining this journey. Keep listening, keep practicing, and most of all, keep believing in yourself. You've got this.